In the mists of ancient Greece, where gods walked among mortals and destiny was a thread spun by the fates, a story of ambition, betrayal, and epic adventure was born. This is not just a legend, it is the tale of a hero destined to reclaim his birthright, a quest for an impossible prize, and a love that would set the world ablaze. This is the story of Jason and the Golden Fleece. Our tale begins in Colchis, a kingdom stolen. The rightful heir, a boy named Jason, is sent into hiding, raised by the wise centaur Chiron in the wilds of Mount Pelion. He learns the ways of the hero, training in combat, strategy, and leadership, all while the usurper, his uncle Perilous, rules with an iron fist, haunted by a chilling prophecy. A man with one sandal would be his undoing. Years pass. Jason, now a man, strong and determined, journeys back to Colchis to claim his throne. As he crosses a raging river, he helps an old woman, the goddess Hera, in disguise, and in the process loses a sandal in the muddy waters. He arrives at the court of Perilous, a striking figure, a hero in the making, and a man with just one sandal. Perilous, seeing the prophecy made flesh trembles, but a king cannot simply kill a popular hero. He must be clever. Feigning acceptance, Perilous sets Jason an impossible task, a quest designed for failure. "Bring me the Golden Fleece from the distant land of Colchis," he commands, "and the throne of Colchis will be yours." The Golden Fleece, the shimmering hide of a winged ram, hangs in a sacred grove, guarded by a sleepless dragon, in a kingdom at the edge of the known world. It is a suicide mission, but Jason, fueled by youthful courage and a burning sense of justice, accepts the challenge. To undertake such a perilous voyage, Jason knows he cannot go alone. He calls for the greatest heroes of his age to join him, and they answer. The call echoes across the Hellenic world, assembling a crew the likes of which had never been seen. This was the birth of the Argonauts, named for their magnificent ship, the Argo, built by the master craftsman Argus with the help of the goddess Athena herself. A talking plank from the sacred oak of Dodona was embedded in its prow, able to offer prophecy and guidance. Who were these heroes? The roster reads like a who's who of Greek mythology. There was the mighty Heracles, strongest of all mortals, on a brief detour from his own legendary labors. There was Orpheus, the master musician, whose lyre could charm beasts, rocks, and even the gods. The swift-footed sons of the north wind, Calais and Zets, the sharp-eyed Lynceus, who could see through trees and earth, and many more, each a champion in their own right, all bound together by a shared thirst for glory. With a crew of legends and a ship blessed by the gods, Jason sets sail from the shores of Colchis, his eyes fixed on the distant horizon, unaware of the trials and wonders that await them. Their journey across the uncharted waters of the Aegean would test their courage, their strength, and their very souls. The voyage of the Argo is a tapestry of mythic encounters. Their first major stop is the Isle of Lemnos, a land inhabited only by women who had tragically dispatched their husbands. The Argonauts stay for a time, repopulating the island, before the powerful words of Heracles remind them of their true purpose. They must press on. Next, they face the Harpies, foul bird-like creatures with the faces of women who torment the blind seer, Phineus. They snatch and defile any food he tries to eat, a divine punishment for revealing too many of the gods' secrets. The winged sons of the north wind, Calais and Zets, take to the air, driving the monstrous creatures away forever. In gratitude, Phineus reveals the path to Colchis and warns them of their greatest obstacle yet, the simple guides, the clashing rocks. These two massive living cliffs guarded the entrance to the Black Sea, crashing together to crush any ship that dared to pass. Following Phineus's advice, Jason releases a dove, The bird flies through and the rocks slam shut, clipping only its tail feathers. As the rocks recoil, the Argonauts row with all their might. With the divine aid of Hera and Athena, and the enchanting music of Orpheus calming the waves, the Argo scrapes through just as the rocks clash behind them one final time, becoming fixed in place forevermore. They have passed the unpassable, their legend growing with every league they travel. Finally, after a long and arduous journey, the Argo arrives at the shores of Colchis, a land of ancient magic ruled by King Aetes, son of the sun god Helios. And here, the nature of our story shifts. It is no longer just a tale of brute strength and heroic deeds. It becomes a story of magic, cunning, and the intoxicating, dangerous power of love. Jason presents himself to King Aetes and boldly states his demand for the Golden Fleece. The king, arrogant and powerful, is outraged. Like Peleus, he sees a quest as the perfect way to eliminate this foreign upstart. He agrees to give Jason the fleece, but only if he can complete a series of impossible trials. First, Jason must yoke 2 fire-breathing bronze bulls. Then, he must plow a field with them and sow it with dragon's teeth. From these teeth, an army of stone warriors the Spartoi will spring, and Jason must defeat them all. The tasks are beyond the might of any mortal man, even a hero. Jason despairs, but the gods are not finished with their game. Hera, Jason's divine patron, conspires with Aphrodite, the goddess of love. They send Eros to strike the heart of the king's daughter, the sorceress Medea, with an arrow of irresistible love for Jason. Medea, a powerful priestess of Hecate, is torn between her duty to her father and her newfound all-consuming passion for the handsome stranger. Love wins. She secretly meets Jason, offering her magical aid in exchange for his vow to marry her and take her with him back to Greece. Jason, seeing his only hope, eagerly agrees. Medea gives him a magical ointment to protect him from the fire of the bulls. Following her instructions, he yokes the beasts and plows the field. When the army of stone warriors rises from the earth, he throws a stone among them as Medea advised. Confused, the Spartoi turn on each other, fighting and destroying themselves until only Jason is left standing. He has achieved the impossible, but King Aetes is a treacherous man. He has no intention of honoring his word. Realizing this, Medea leads Jason that very night to the sacred grove where the Golden Fleece hangs, shimmering on the branches of an oak tree. Guarding it is the infamous sleepless dragon, but the dragon is no match for Medea's magic. She uses her potions and chants a hypnotic lullaby, lulling the great serpent into a deep sleep. Jason seizes the Golden Fleece, and with their prize in hand, they race back to the Argo, fleeing Colchis with Medea by their side, leaving her family and homeland behind forever. The quest is complete, but their story is far from over. The journey home will be even more perilous than the journey out, stained by darkness and the consequences of Medea's fateful choice. So what does this epic tale really mean? On the surface, it's a thrilling adventure, a classic hero's journey. Jason, the archetypal hero, leaves home, faces trials, wins a prize, and returns transformed. It's a story that celebrates courage, leadership, and the pursuit of glory. The Argonauts represent the power of teamwork, a collection of individual talents united for a common goal. But digging deeper, the myth of Jason and the Argonauts explores more complex themes. It's a story about the transition from an old world to a new one. The Argonauts' voyage itself symbolizes the expansion of the Greek world, pushing into unknown territories, overcoming natural and supernatural barriers, and taming the wild edges of civilization. The fixing of the clashing rocks is a perfect metaphor for this, turning a chaotic, dangerous passage into a safe, permanent route. The myth also serves as a profound commentary on the nature of heroism itself. Is Jason truly a great hero? Unlike Heracles, who relies on his own strength, Jason succeeds primarily through the help of others, his crew, the goddess Hera, and most importantly, Medea. His greatest skill seems to be his ability to inspire loyalty and accept help. This makes him a more human, and perhaps more relatable, kind of hero. One whose success is dependent on community and connection. However, the story also carries a dark undercurrent, particularly with the introduction of Medea. Her character raises uncomfortable questions about passion, betrayal, and the other. She is a foreigner, a sorceress, a barbarian in the eyes of the Greeks. Her love for Jason drives her to betray her family and her country, and her magic, while essential for Jason's success, is also portrayed as dangerous and untamed. Their relationship highlights the tension between civilization and wildness, logic and emotion, and ultimately questions the price of ambition. The story doesn't end with a simple, happily ever after. The darkness they embrace to achieve their goal follows them home, leading to a tragic conclusion that serves as a timeless warning about broken vows and the consequences of our choices. The legend of Jason and the Argonauts endures because it is more than just a quest for a golden prize. It is a journey into the heart of what it means to be a hero, to be a leader, and to be human, navigating a world of gods and monsters where every victory comes with a cost. Thank you so much for joining me on this epic journey through Greek mythology. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more legends from the ancient world, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Let me know in the comments which myth you'd like to see me cover next. Until then, stay curious.